Please don't forget subscribe to the channel and hit the bell to get notified of new daily videos.
I'd been a senior stocker at Fresh Harvest Market for years, priding myself on getting my aisles stocked and faced with efficient precision. My sections were always impeccable, and I knew the layout like the back of my hand, often finishing my assigned tasks ahead of schedule. That all changed when Zoltan arrived. Zoltan was our new assistant store manager, a man obsessed with metrics and efficiency initiatives. He introduced a new policy called active presence, which meant all stockers were given handheld scanners that tracked every scan and our exact location. The goal, he said, was to ensure 95% active engagement during our shifts. Zoltan, always looking at the numbers, publicly reprimanded me during a team meeting. "Nadine," he declared, looking at his tablet, "your scanner logs show you often spend more than 10 minutes without a scan or standing still. We need to see constant movement and interaction." This was despite my aisles being spotless and fully stocked. He also rolled out a draconian, visual merchandising standard, VMS directive. It stated, all products must be pulled to the absolute front edge of the shelf, perfectly aligned. Any item not flush with the front edge or showing label misalignment is a VMS defect. Any empty space behind the front line of product, regardless of how small, is a critical VMS defect. These must be corrected immediately using stock only from that specific shelf section or by retrieving new stock from the backroom. Do not use product from adjacent sections to fill gaps. It was a painfully specific rule designed to prevent lazy shortcuts, but it completely ignored common sense for minor corrections. So I decided to give Zoltan exactly what he asked for, to the letter. My efficiency, which had previously allowed me to finish my actual work quickly, was now weaponized. When I had downtime, or when my section was fully stocked, instead of taking a well-deserved breather, I'd simply begin refacing shelves that were already immaculate. I'd pull out every single jar of pickles, rotate them, dust the shelf, and then meticulously put them back, perfectly aligned. My scanner registered constant movement, item handling, and sustained time in a specific area. My active presence logs shot through the roof. I was a green beacon of activity, just as Zoltan desired. Then there was the VMS. If I spotted a tiny gap on a shelf of canned goods, say, a 2-inch space where a customer had pulled a can forward, instead of just sliding the existing cans from the back of that same shelf space forward, or even from an adjacent section, I adhered strictly to Zoltan's VMS. If there were no more cans directly behind that specific gap, I would walk all the way to the backroom, locate a single new can of that specific product, bring it out, and carefully place it in the gap. This took far longer but perfectly complied with his instruction to retrieve new stock from the backroom. I also started logging every single product I touched for facing, generating reams of engagement, data that made my scanner sing. The fallout was spectacular. My individual active presence metrics were flawless, as were my VMS scores. Zoltan couldn't fault me, but my colleagues, seeing me meticulously working on already perfect shelves or making absurd treks to the backroom for a single item, started doing the same to avoid their own reprimands. The actual productivity of the store plummeted. Pallets of new deliveries sat in aisles for hours, sometimes blocking customer access or creating safety hazards. The backroom, which relied on efficient stocking to stay organized, devolved into chaos. Customer complaints rose about unavailable items, still on pallets in the aisles, or difficulty navigating. Our overall operational efficiency dropped significantly, yet every manager's dashboard showed green for active presence and VMS compliance. Zoltan, initially basking in his successful metrics, soon faced the ire of the regional manager. He had perfect numbers for activity and shelf presentation, but the store was a mess, sales were dipping, and customer satisfaction surveys were abysmal. He was trapped by his own rules, unable to criticize me or anyone else for following his precise instructions, even as the store spiraled. It was a beautiful thing to watch. He wanted compliance, and I delivered. Sometimes, the best way to prove a rule is stupid is to follow it perfectly.
If you enjoyed this video, please hit the thumbs up button to like it. And please do subscribe to support the channel.